Hi everyone, this is Evolution 8. I'm going to read the summary of the 4-page interview from Nintendo Everything with the director and everything. Let's see what it says. Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, a brand new game where everything has evolved. As mentioned at the E3 2016, director of the Sun and Moon is not Masuda. Instead, it's Omori. It was the same case of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So this is the first time Omori became a director of the brand new game. Masuda reminisced on how Satoshi Tajiri was the director of the Red and Green, then handed that position to him afterwards. The important points on making a brand new game are how to insert the world setting and gameplay, and challenging technical things that should be done. Masuda would like to pass on the spirit of the challenge to the next era, which was why after Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire ended, Masuda asked Omori to do the next brand new game. When Omori became a director for the first time with Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, he felt it was both hectic and interesting at the same time, because he could make a game as he wished. When there were talks of him becoming director of the Sun and Moon, he wondered if he could really do it. Because when it comes to a brand new game, there are many things that must be considered, including the world setting and a new Pokemon. He has worked hard and believes that Sun and Moon will be very interesting. The aspect Masuda wanted to point out in the E3 demo gameplay was how the player is now able to move freely without any more grid directional restrictions. Due to that fact, they had to revamp opponents' trainers' line of sight on routes. When the player is getting close to the trainer's line of sight, the screen will have a dark borders and will then have an exclamation mark where the trainer has a player on their sights. Omori noticed that the new field movement, battle scenes, user interface, and more have mostly been perceived positively, so he feels relieved. Keen veteran players may have noticed that the quality of the gameplay is being naturally revolutionized, with just a subtle hint with a free field movement. Masuda also points out another aspect, which is that the sea and the sky that can be viewed from the field. They added more sense of reality by things like displaying time progression from day to night or hearing the sound of waves when near by the sea. They also made many measures to improve the gameplay tempo. It may be hard to notice from the gameplay footage, but they used a new visual engine for this game, totally different from what was used in X and Y, which allowed them to represent things more leisurely, as well as showing trainers all the time during the battles. Despite still staying on the 3DS, by massively evolving the game's internals, Omori thinks they could evolve the game bigger than what was seen when they were making X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. They went until the technological limit they could manage, and same also applies with Sun and Moon. The new place of adventure becomes an energetic land. When asked why the new region is based on Hawaii, Masuda said that Poké World champions have been there several times, and he thought that it's a very energetic land. It has seas, volcanoes, waterfalls, and also has a lot of rainfall compared to most of America. When discussing with the dev staff about choosing a region, there was an opinion to properly cherish the energy of life from humans and Pokemon. Then Hawaii was suggested as a motive for a region that can reconsider the living creatures that appear in Pokemon series, and that suggestion was accepted. The two legendary Pokemon, Solgaleo and Lunala, were designed after Sun and Moon, and with the impression that they govern over nature. They did that so it can be understood simply. After 2 games of Pokemon being displayed in 3D instead of pixel art, X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, the designers already had a very deep understanding on giving Pokemon expressions. That's why the Pokemon in the game are being designed by considering their movements. They want players to understand the Pokemon by observing their movements in game footage. For example, the grass starter, Rowlet, may have a simple design in its still images, but it can do things like tilting its neck or its body thinning down when fainting. Even though there are not too many design lines, they think they could generate interest and charm as a living creature with such movements. The redrawn likeness of Pokemons to living creatures. As a third Pokemon game on the 3DS, they consider Sun and Moon as having matured in a way of presentation. By adding the feel of a living creature to Pokemon, they think they can greatly evolve the way to draw humans and Pokemon. The discussion then switched to the Battle Royale feature introduced at E3. Omori said it came up from the idea of wanting to have battles more closely. So they added the Battle Royale where many players can gather and easily have fun. For example, there's a really strong trainer that can't be beaten in ordinary battles, but with the rules of Battle Royale, even the strongest trainer doesn't always win. Even with weak Pokemon, a trainer could still win with a proper strategy. Things like deciding which Pokemon to attack or trying to read other players' strategies by looking at their faces will be fun. The rules of the Battle Royale make it hard to gang up on someone. The battle ends when all 3 Pokemon owned by a trainer faint. So when a player wants to win, they will have to prepare some tactics. If someone becomes too dominant at the start, they will end up becoming everyone else's target. So it may be wise to appear like you're only second strongest. The dev team thinks this could produce a very strategic gameplay. The flow of thought in the Battle Royale is very different from single and double battles. So there may be a Pokemon that will be used more often in Battle Royales than ordinary battles, and also players that are better in Battle Royales. Another interesting factor in Sun and Moon is how the Pokedex is becoming a Rotom-dex. This came from a thought that it would be interesting if the Pokedex can speak and answer questions. From there, someone said, wouldn't it be interesting if Rotom can enter the Pokedex and explain various things? And the team picked that idea. Omori said it was very hectic to implement that into the game, but Masuda really wanted that feature to be added. He thought the idea of having the Pokedex navigate players through their journeys would be interesting. And then we got final messages from Omori. Omori notes that there are actually still so many things that haven't been announced yet, so hope fans look forward to them. As for himself, he thinks I have made a decent challenge, and there are still features that are still a mystery. While anticipating the upcoming announcements, Omori would like fans to look forward to the software release on November the 18th, or the 23rd in Europe, if I remember correctly. For those who have always played previous Pokemon games, Masuda thinks these titles will be interesting. You can acknowledge Pokemon as living beings once again. There are many new challenges like Pokedex features and Pokemon movement, and for those who have never played Pokemon title before, and for those who used to play Pokemon but haven't played recent games. He's confident that the contents of Sun and Moon can be recommended to them. Masuda will be glad if fans check out once more what kind of game Pokemon is with Sun and Moon. Pre-orders began on July the 16th, and the movie also started airing, so I'd like everyone to enjoy Pokemon from various places. Very interesting, and there will be an announcement on the 1st of August, if I remember correctly, so we'll be looking forward to what they show then. And obviously I will be showing the news every time it will come out, so you guys can see what's new. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Please subscribe and like it. Thank you. Bye.